Hi, I'm Jennie Wetter with Infinity Real Estate. I've been selling homes in the greater Gig Harbor area for almost 20 years. And in those 20 years, I've had the amazing privilege of selling more than 60 homes with a price point of $1 million or more. Further, I've sold 7 homes with a price tag of $3 million or more. Outside of Seattle and Bellevue, that's pretty rare air. So today, I would like to share a few of my thoughts on marketing a luxury listing. The 5 keys that I believe are important to the most successful sale, and what I think differentiates me and my marketing process from my competitors. First of all, selling a luxury property is about so much more than the physical characteristics of the house. The bedrooms, the bathrooms, the garages, the waterfront footage, whatever it is. A luxury property is about lifestyle. Buyers who are seeking luxury property live and expect a high-end lifestyle, and therefore, they want their homes and their properties to reflect it, whether it be a lifestyle of sophistication, recreation, or elegance. All of it is reflected in their home and property. So with that being said, when we're considering a luxury listing, we want to tap into that need of a buyer. What I bring to the table is authenticity and hopefully a little bit of sophistication at this point in the process. And therefore, I approach each luxury property as a unique piece of art in a way. And considering the lifestyle of the buyer who's going to be looking at it, together with my vision, my goal is to showcase a masterpiece. What are the 5 keys to what I believe is the most successful luxury sale? First, it's creating an extraordinary first impression. Then, second, you have to replicate that first impression and even make it more extraordinary when the buyer visits the property. Third is about pricing, precision pricing to make sure that we are meeting the market conditions. Fourth is the marketing, the all-important marketing, with strategic advanced marketing and a global elevated reach. And then fifth, expert contract negotiation from start all the way to closing. Let's talk about the all-important first impression. First impression is everything. And we all often forget that a first impression is created within seconds. We literally have seconds to grab a buyer and make them want to visit the property. Once they visit the property, we have to replicate that first impression and make it even better than what it is that they see, whether it's online or in print, when they first find the property. Let's dive further into what it takes to craft that amazing first impression and then to replicate it and further it with an extraordinary client experience when they visit the property. With my luxury clients, this is where we spend the most amount of time. It's the preparation process. This can take months. And so the sooner I'm contacted by a client to help sell their home, the better, because it often takes that much time, because we go into the details. When someone is looking at the property online, it's the photos, it's the video, it's the story that we tell of the property, and the energy and the pizzazz has to come through to create that first impression. But then when they drive up to the property, everything has to look pristine and perfect from the moment they enter, whether it's the gate or the driveway. And as they're walking through the front door, you create an ambiance that makes them look and feel at home. Along with all of that, in the preparation process, we work together to craft lists of important repairs that need to be made to showcase your property in its best light, and we work with professional stagers. It's a fact that staged homes sell as much as 88% faster and for up to 20% more than an unstaged home. So I sometimes hear from luxury clients, well, I don't need to change this stuff out because somebody's just going to come in and put their own personality on it. That may very well be true, but you have to recognize that we are trying to appeal to the widest group we can of potential buyers who might be looking for a property like yours. And therefore, by working with professional stagers to make it as appealing to the widest group, we have the best chance of getting the most buyers through and someone falling in love with it. I believe it comes down to a huge amount of personal touch. And that's something I feel strongly that I bring to the table. And it starts with conducting showings for each buyer that I would be at the property providing the tour. I set the stage with music, with candles, or with scents. And I'm there to tell the buyer the story and the lifestyle that we are wanting to create with this special property. Let's talk about that all-important question of pricing. How do I go about pricing a luxury listing? Especially when luxury homes tend to be so unique and completely different from any other home. How do you look at comps and try to come up with a price? It is not an exact science. I would love to tell you that it is, but it's absolutely not. It has so much to do with the individual characteristics of a home, the exact location, if it's waterfront, whether it's high, medium, or low bank. All of those things come into play, as well as what is the current competition? Are there other luxury properties on the market? What have those properties been doing? Have they been on the market for a long time? Are things flying off? All of that stuff is factored in together with the seller's goals. There are many sellers of luxury properties that say to me, I understand this process is going to take a while. I don't want to leave money on the table. I never want to leave money on the table for my clients. My goal is always to get the absolute best that the market can bear. So what does that take? As we've talked about, it takes preparation. And it's essentially an axis where preparation is on one side and pricing is on the other. And if you over prep a house and then you overprice it, both, that house, even though you've over prepped it, because it's overpriced, it's not going to sell. At the same vein, if you don't prep a house properly, even if you price it aggressively, it's not going to appeal to those discerning buyers that we've been talking about, and therefore, it might sit on the market. So my goal specifically is to try and find what I call the sweet spot, that you prep the house and it is and does look like a masterpiece that we are going to showcase, but not so far over the top that it necessarily breaks your bank. And then from a pricing perspective, where do we think that basically ceiling is at the upper end of what we can hit? Not too high, but definitely not lower than that. And then we will give the market and the buyers time to tell us what the market price really should be. Perhaps the question I get asked the most by luxury sellers, and for good reason, is how are you going to market my property? How are you going to find these buyers who are going to be attracted to my property? This is another area I think that we truly shine, and it makes me excited to talk about all the great things we do to market the luxury property. That being said, I'm not going to completely give away the farm. So how do we approach it? It's with strategy, it's advanced, it's elevated, and then we work on a broad and even global reach to make sure what we create reaches the right audiences. With both photos and, very importantly, video, this is where the lifestyle component of luxury property comes into play. We tell the story of the property and the lifestyle that it affords and what a buyer can expect. We create an energy, we create a buzz, and we make a buyer want to visit the property with the pieces that we create. And then to disseminate them, we have an amazing package that spans print with Luxury Home Magazine in Greater Seattle, We have all kinds of digital outreach. And then further, I have an elite partnership with a worldwide network of luxury brokers, and your property would be advertised in publications like the Wall Street Journal, the Robb Report, and many, many more. So we've been through the whole process. We've talked about first impressions and client experience, pricing, and marketing. The fifth and very important piece comes down to, once we get a buyer, making sure that we get to a smooth closing. And this is one of the places that I feel I truly shine. You want someone with the kind of experience that I have. And I've worked extremely hard over these 20 years to craft a good and favorable impression of the way that I do business with my peers in the industry. More than 90+ probably % of my sales are cross sales with brokers who are either local or at least from the greater Seattle area. And in most cases, we know of each other, they know of me, and they understand the way that I do business. They know that I work incredibly hard for my clients, but they also know that I'm a straight shooter, I'm honest and ethical, my properties always look a certain way, and we have a goal of making the process smooth and all the way to a successful closing. Thanks for taking a few moments of your time today to hear about my process for successful luxury listings. I hope I've shown you that my professionalism, my experience, and my dedicated track record speaks for itself, and I can offer you the same kind of great experience. If you are considering selling, if you have questions at all, I hope you'll consider me a resource and give me a call.